This is the carburetor that I use on that Tecumseh Flathead. It's a PZ20. If you do a Google or eBay search for it, I've seen a couple different names on the side of it. Obviously, it's a China copy of something. I'm not clear as to what it's a copy of. It's either a Kian or a Walboro copy. I got some jets for it and actually found that they were Kian jets. What that means, I don't know. So I ran this carburetor for a while. I just pulled it all apart and cleaned everything on it. For that particular engine, it has a 78 main jet with a 32 pilot jet. I made the intake manifold for it to fit to the engine. It's just some 1-inch outside diameter tubing from some old Harley handlebars, and then I made the flanges, and that's a stock Tecumseh gasket. The carburetor came with a isolator, but after looking at it, it's actually broken. So that would cause a vacuum leak and some runnability issues, probably starting problems. I think I'm just going to run it without this. There's an O-ring that goes in the back of the carburetor to match up to the intake manifold. And I've ran that configuration on some of my other bikes and it works just fine. Isolator is to help keep from transferring heat from the intake manifold to the carburetor, but I don't feel that's big of an issue on this application. Also, as far as jetting, the needle clip is the second from the bottom groove. Standard would be right in the middle, so it's actually one clip richer. Also made this support bracket that bolts onto the intake manifold to help support it, and then goes down to the engine mount. 20 seems like a small carburetor, but actually this is the same carburetor that I run on my Predator 212 in the bike that I've been racing, and it works really good. It does need a bigger carburetor, but even for just a stock application Predator, these carburetors work really good. I feel like they're better than stock. It may not be faster than a stock size carburetor, but it gives you a mid-range tunability instead of just having idle and wide open, which is how most lawn equipment carburetors are. These have that mid-range, so you can actually have some part throttle, and it actually makes the bikes easier to ride instead of having that where you hit the throttle and then all of a sudden it hits and kind of hard to control it. You can transition the throttle on a lot smoother. This is the exhaust I had built. It's 1-inch outside diameter tubing here, and then 1/8 outside diameter tubing on the outlet. I made the muffler. It's got like a perforated core and wrapped with fiberglass. And made the flange where it bolts onto the motor. This is the original exhaust to the bike. I haven't had any problems with it. Sounds really good. I wish I would have made the flange thicker. It's pretty thin. I think it's 1/8 inch. Should be at least 3/16, probably 1/4 inch is ideal. But it seems to have been working. It is a little warped, but should be fine. For whatever reason, in the gasket kit, they don't give you an exhaust gasket. So I ended up making one out of some copper, which I then annealed, where you heat it up and then quench it. It makes it a lot softer. And then I had coated it with high temp RTV on each side, which is probably overkill, but I'd rather do that than have it leak and have to deal with that. Some flange sealer on the intake before I bolt the carburetor on, just for a little added insurance on the O-ring seal. just high temp RTV.